Hi, I'm going to make just a quick video of my Rylo experience so far, and I just tried to make another video and I was way too long-winded with it. I did not have good lighting, still have questionable lighting probably for this video. This camera is not a good low-light camera. That's really okay for what it is. It's almost to be expected. I've had compatibility issues with my phone, so today I managed to score a Google Pixel XL, and it's the first gen, but it turns out first gen is still a very capable phone. In fact, apparently, and I haven't verified this, but I know that this phone is a beast of a phone. But even though they're on their third gen, apparently the differences between them are rather petty, and this phone was actually better than and of course it's in a case, but it was better than an iPhone 7 as far as hardware goes. It's got 128 gigabytes of built-in shared memory for apps and such, which is crucial for the Rylo app because it uses the built-in memory for video, for storing videos and anything you copy to your phone, which is unfortunate because they're huge videos, and so but you know, this whole shared memory thing on the phones has been ridiculously low for some time now. I mean, my Moto X4 has 32 gigabytes, and that's leaving me struggling at times. I like the phone overall, but I'm not a big gamer on my phone, but I do have different productivity apps, and basically, by the time everything steers you towards your app, you end up with apps that you would, they come in handy, but yeah, anyways, definitely a dilemma. So, made a bigger dilemma by the Rylo app. As you see, when I buy a used phone from somebody, I only get a free case with the phone, usually if I'm buying the phone from a woman, and I end up with that pink or purple case. So this phone, I'm only using it for video editing, so I don't know. I'll track down a case, but I'm not too worried about a pink case in the house. I love my X4 as my phone. I don't like the idea of having my phone tied up for video editing, especially as long as it takes to compose clips, and I can't live without that feature of my Motorola. So I could not confirm that a Moto Z could handle the Rylo, and it did not come with a big enough shared memory option. Let's see. The Rylo being a 360-degree camera, you don't want to set it down on its face on either side, and so by the time it is in the everyday case for filming, to actually attach it to devices and such, anytime you set it down, it has to go away like that. It needs to go into this case. When you have to sync it to your phone via cable, and they only included these short little cables. I mean, I'm not even positive that that's a foot. It might be a foot. No room, and you forget about that, and you're used to having your phone be free and wireless, and suddenly you move a little bit and you're nearly dropping a $400 camera on the floor that has no ability to land without damage. So Rylo is aware of that. They said they've received a lot of feedback. I don't think they can justify shipping a cable out to everybody. So, but hopefully they can do better going forward. As the Note 4 I bought thinking I could slip by with some temporary compatibility, and all it can do with the Rylo is take 4K 360 video and make an HD video with it. So that is a good function, but it's so limited compared to the capabilities of Rylo with the 5.8K video that can be then turned into an HD video. My X4 was supposed to be fully compatible, but it could not display the 5.8K video properly. I hope the final edit, the final video produced was at least going to display properly, and it does not. So I cannot do 5K, even though the app says that this phone is fully compatible. And supposedly Android Pie is what messed up the ability of that phone to function. Okay, so I'm taking another shot at this quick video. This is mainly a test video for me, but I did go ahead and leave my light on this time. That I've added to have some more light here. And I noticed I do want to test out the follow me feature. A couple things I want to do. First off, everything's a mess. I'm not set up for filming anything to share, so if this video sees the light of day, this would not be what I normally want to show, but I'm going to hold this camera up still, and during this time I'll be panning around the room, and you can see I can look in any direction that I want to with my edit, and obviously have the option of an immersive 360-degree video where the person viewing the video with the right device can look in any direction they want to. I'm not trying to do that right now. So as you can see, I panned around, or will be panning around to demonstrate that. And in my other video when I was showing phones and stuff, there's things to learn to do differently when videoing. Largely your post-edit, you can handle a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of attention needed. But there's probably some new habits to learn to end up with video that's useful, and I'll just have to learn that over time. Like now, I can pan down to the phones because I'm standing back from it, but even displaying things to the camera can take away from the camera's capabilities when you go to edit later, because it'd be great to pan to myself and then pan to what I'm talking about. But when I try to hold what I'm talking about, then I can't really do anything with that. So now I'll be talking to you right here, and I will show you the devices that I've used with this camera, and with the Pixel that's sitting next to the X4 being the one that's actually going to finally get the job done, hopefully. Right now my biggest gripe, assuming I can go forward without issues with the Pixel XL, I need Rylo support to resolve an issue I'm having that's where I'm not able to edit the video that I've already saved to my PC. I've copied it back to the proper folder on the SD card, plugged it back into the camera, plugged it into the phone, and the Rylo tells me I need to capture video to get started, so it does not see that footage. And that is the steps they recommend. So that should be working. I sure hope that can be fixed. Hopefully that's not something that works on a Mac and doesn't work on a PC right now. I don't need any more of that. So let's see, what else can I do? I'm going to hold it further away from me. And the low light was causing issues with the follow me feature. But hopefully by being in this brighter light right now and having the light between me and the camera, you'll see that the follow me is working. I'm going to try to follow my face, which probably isn't, it could be my face that the camera doesn't want to follow, and maybe that's a bad test of this footage, but a bad test of this feature. So let's see, stabilization, I'm not, let's put that to a test. I'll kind of bob the camera around, but obviously this might mimic riding a bike down a trail or something. Maybe it's too much, I don't know. So we'll see. If you can't tell that I'm shaking the camera around considerably right now, I'll hold it still, and I was doing about the equivalent of that with the camera. So however the stabilization shows itself is what happened there. So let's see. I guess I won't get into a lot of the details of the features of the camera. Just seeing what I've panned around and done, that you're looking at an HD video that looks like I took time to pan a camera around and I did not, that I just used the software to do so. That's the main, that and the stability are like the biggest features of the Rylo. I was tempted by a cheaper camera that did not work out to get something capable of shooting 360-degree video. I never really imagined the standard HD video capabilities by having a 360-degree raw footage until seeing the Rylo reviewed and demonstrated. And now that's obviously a much better deal, going to be a more useful feature more often than 360-degree video. So I like the possibilities with it. And anyways, to see that, there's definitely more exciting videos to watch. People that have demonstrated the features while snowboarding, while walking dogs, while hiking through very scenic terrain. So there's no point in me trying to make something exciting out of my kitchen. So we won't do that. What else do I want to cover? Just be very careful on the compatibility issues with your devices. But I will say, as an added benefit that I've discovered, is by getting a phone that's going to be dedicated to this, I actually created a new account for a YouTube channel potentially and such. And so now, not only is that device dedicated, do I have a device that I'm primarily using for the Rylo camera, but that can be dedicated to the channel and help separate some of that stuff from my personal daily use of a phone. Because like I like, if it works out, I'm going to pan back to my phones, but I just love my Motorola X4 as a daily driver. It's the right size for me. This phone, I was kind of needing one for Matthew, and I was having some issues with the touch today while he was using an app on it, the ABC Mouse app, but I still had an option to turn up the touch sensitivity, so I'm going to see if that works out for me. I also have an option of getting an S Pen for it. It did not include the S Pen, but apparently they're cheap. So that cost me $100, and it did not work out for its intended purpose, but I really hope to put that to good use. Again, I bought this used for $250, which was a great deal, and this phone I'm now going to dedicate to the YouTube channel, video editing, that sort of thing. So again, whole separate account for the channel that I want to do there, which is great. I don't want it tied in. I don't want the channel and my name front and center. Wanted a funner name than my name. So I've come up with an idea for that. And then I've got my daily driver phone, and then now actually I have the option. I have some apps for like Lazy Eye and whatnot on my phone that were taking up space. I went ahead and moved those to this phone to free up space on here because I don't use those. I'm not going to use that at school. I'm not going to use that on a job somewhere. I doubt I'd even use it in a waiting room or something. That's really something to use at home. So having it on another device and freeing up my space is great. So, and depending on how this works out, maybe I'll go ahead and put them on here. So that's strictly Matthew's phone. That would be fine. So I've got some options there. It's not a waste, and I'm actually, since I did try to save some money, I didn't save as much by buying two phones, but I've actually got a lot more options out of the deal than if I just went and bought the first phone I could have got off of Amazon. So it probably worked out. Let's see. Now back to the Rylo. Well, really from this point I won't have much more to share until I actually do an edit. But again, just watch out for that compatibility, especially with an Android phone. If you do not have a very recently purchased expensive flagship phone, basically if you don't have a Galaxy or definitely if you're outside of the Galaxy lineup and you're not S8 or newer on your Galaxy, and you have to be the flagship Galaxy, not the prepaid J7s, stuff like that. You've got to have a Galaxy S8 or a newer Note. If you're not in those flagships, and if your phone shared memory is limited, just realize that you may have to update before you get a satisfactory experience with the Rylo camera. I did not realize that. I knew my phone was fairly capable. I did not really anticipate any troubles. And the only thing it really recommended phone-wise, it needed to be Android 6.0 or newer, which I knew, I knew my phone was going to update to Pi, and then maybe it's unfortunate for Rylo that I got that update basically the weekend before I got the Rylo. So if that update is what messed up 5.8K on that phone, I didn't get a chance to know that that was the cause. So, all right, well, I'll stop here. This is long enough. Oh, one more thing. If I didn't already do a satisfactory job, we'll, again, oh, I did do a segment on this, but we'll try to follow me again. And now, just as a test, we'll try to follow the phone, where the phones are sitting. All right. And that's that. This is the wrap, and this is either for my own personal use, or maybe I'll go ahead and share it. So, thanks for watching if it's up for watching.